Mokoletsi and 15 others. I have already submitted the charge, the J15 to the court. Your Worship, this is Schedule 5 offence. We had agreed with councils to submit the affidavit before the court. The state is not opposed to their release on bail. However, in terms of the bail proceedings, accused must satisfy the court that it is in the interest of justice that they must be released on bail. Thank you.
Yeah, before we proceed further, I received numerous applications from the media to have this matter televised as well as on the press. Also wanted to be allowed to be in court and also observe the proceedings and be able to publish the proceedings. So what's the attitude of the state with that regard? Your
Worship, we have not received any application. We have not seen those applications. But I see they are already on site. But it's neither here or there. I have no objection. I don't know if my colleagues have any.
Right. Let me see. Counsel for accused number 1.
Yes, Your Worship. My instruction not to object to such an application. I do believe that it can turn into media circus, and they are free to take whatever pictures they want outside. But while the court is sitting, I do not believe that it should turn into a circus.
Yes, for counsel for accused number 2. Is there anybody who's representing accused number 2? Yes. Yes. What is the attitude of the request by the media to be allowed access to this court proceedings? All right. Counsel for accused number 3. Let's start with. All right. There's no objection. In respect of counsel now for accused.
My objection won't really matter.
Yeah. Yes.
Your Worship, our instructions to oppose such application, and that would be due to the amount of people in court at the moment. My client is of a frail medical and health status, and we would like to limit the amount of people that he's in contact with and that he's in court.
Then counsel for accused 5.
Please, the court, Your Worship, we have no objection.
Counsel for accused number 6.
Please, the court. Normally we would have not had any objection, but there is a process that's supposed to be followed, and that process hasn't been followed. And I'd also suggest, without the process having been followed, and some accused objecting, would not be able to resolve it unless the process is followed. So I'd leave it to you, but I'd suggest there's some real obstacles to draw.
Counsel for accused number.
Your Worship, my apologies. Accused number 7 and 12 are not before court.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Abdul.
I will likewise leave it to the discretion of the.
Yes. Thank you,
The
Counsel.
court, Your Worship, I confirm I had not known of the application to be made, and for that I beg the Honorable Court's leave to approach and take instruction.
Proceed.
Please, the court, Your Worship. My instructions are to object to such an application, also in view of the fact that already media is in the courtroom. So likely, Your Worship, will be in the court sense, in the court.
Yeah, I feel that obviously the media is already here. They've already seen the accused. Possibly they must also have taken pictures because of this new technology that we have. I do not think that because to refuse them permission to be here will serve any purpose. I don't think that it will serve any harm by allowing them to be present and to record. This is a matter of public interest. I will then allow them access to this proceedings. Thank you.
Please, Court, Your Worship. I have already submitted the affidavit. The court may start.
Yes, thank you.
With the
let's start
accused
with
one.
Accused number 1. I have received an affidavit. I went through the affidavit that was compiled on behalf of applicant number 1, Mr. Gauteng Mokele.
Yes, for your worship. First, a respectful submission that the accused had indeed presented evidence that it, regardless of ability to offer use of justice, that be released on bail. The only aspect that I believe is in dispute at this stage is the amount. My learned colleague will indicate that the amount of 50,000 rand would be requested for bail state, your worship. If I refer your worship, paragraph 23 of the affidavit, where the accused sets out his medical history, what happened in 2018. He became extremely ill, your worship. He couldn't practice for more than a year. He's in debt, under debt review. So technically, he doesn't have that money. He indicated that he has a 10,000 rand available today, your worship, to pay bail. It's my respectful submission that once there's a decision that bail should be granted, it should not be made in such an amount that it's impossible for the accused to reach it. He might be able to raise further funds through the assistance of family and friends, your worship, but that is the amount that he has available. There's no indication that he is a flight risk. There's no likelihood of anything of that nature happening, your worship, and it's my respectful submission that that will be an appropriate amount under the circumstances.
Mr. Gauteng Mokele, can you stand up, sir?
Excuse me, worship.
I'm talking to your client, sir.
Sorry.
Applicant number 1. Mr. Mokele, do you confirm the content of this affidavit?
Yes, Your Worship.
Right, good. You confirm that you do not have any previous convictions? Do you confirm that you do not have any previous convictions?
Yes, I do not have.
All right. I see on the affidavit you say there is a pending case.
Yes, Your Lord.
Okay. And that's all. Only one case.
That's all.
Right. If you provide me with false information, you will be charged with criminal offense. Do you understand?
That has been made clear.
Right. Thank you. You may sit down. Whatever you said in this affidavit might be used against you in subsequent trial. Do you understand this warning?
Understood.
Thank you. So,
Yes. Court please, that will be the case for the first applicant.
right. Affidavit is in the record marked as Exhibit A. Accused number 2 is not here. We go to accused number 3. That will be applicant number 2.
Accused 2 has subsequently is here,
Yes.
but his counsel have just arrived.
All right.
And
Where is the
affidavit
witness?
is in his hand.
He's also interested to bring an application for bail.
Yes.
Can you move very fast? Can you move to where the mic is, please? There is another mic. That is a moving mic. You've got a mic. Advocate Creek, can you just allow counsel quickly to...
May I be provisionally
proceed?
excused, Your Worship?
Just move to the side quickly so it can move very fast. There's a roving mic that you have. Yes, proceed, proceed. Then. Can you proceed quickly?
Confirm appearance for the applicant number 2,
Yes.
and in affidavit in support of the petition for bail and its effect. The state has been provided with one, and the court has intended to hand one copy to the court. And if I may, with the leave of the court, read the affidavit into the...
I just read the affidavit now. Quickly, I went through the affidavit. Is there anything else that you need to add to this affidavit?
There is nothing contentious, Worship, except that maybe the one thing that my colleague for the first applicant has indicated, the contentious issue is the amount of bail, and taking the circumstances of the applicant into account, the amount that she is able to pay as bail is the amount of 5,000 rand. She is also having a case that is ongoing at the Palm Ridge, but it's, from then she has been released on bail and has honored all the obligations that are attached to her.
The allegation is that this matter, in respect of this matter, the offences were committed prior to her appearance in the Palm Ridge court. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, that's fine.
Other than that, they will submit that it is in the interest of justice that she be allowed to bail.
Right, thank you. Applicant number 2, Ms. Civil Nomte Novo. Do you confirm the content of this affidavit?
I do.
Whatever you said in this affidavit might be used against you in subsequent trial. Do you understand?
I do.
Right. Do you confirm that you do not have any previous convictions?
Yes, sir.
You only have this pending case that is running at Palm Ridge Court.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Whatever, if you provide me with information with regard to your previous conviction and pending cases, You may be charged with criminal offense. Do you understand this warning?
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Hlongwa.
That is the case for the applicant.
Thank you. We go now to applicant number 3. Mr. Ramano. Yes, thank you. May proceed, counsel.
Yes, I represent Mr. Roman on the matter. I'm assuming that we have also gone through the affidavit.
I've gone through the affidavit, but I see the affidavit that has been handed to me. The deponent has not yet signed
Yes.
the commission. Do you have the original affidavit?
May I please actually request that you return that so that he can put his signature in, because can do whatever they have to do there.
You see now.
They have a difficulty.
The counsel, you are starting on the wrong foot.
But maybe
You know, these shortcut things, they don't work with me. I'm not a person who allows shortcuts, you know, and you want him now to take an oath now in front of the public and everybody here. Okay. In respect of your applicant number 3, the witness will stand down. Let's continue applicant number 4. You'll do it at the right time. Not now. Let's move quickly. Right, thank you. Applicant number 4. Thank you. Proceed.
Your Worship, I
For
believe
Dr.
that you,
Abdul Rahman, not so.
that's
Thank
correct,
you.
Your Worship.
Proceed quickly. I've read the affidavit, and is there anything that we wish to add?
Your Worship, I would just like to put your attention to paragraph 13.
Yes, thank
Obviously, his health issues, especially if we have a look at 13.5.
Yes.
Your Worship, my client does have some issues to understand some of the, let's say, questions that's put to him. So I would just like to put that onto your attention at this stage. Then, Your Worship, at the moment, the issue at the moment would be the amount of bail. My client has indicated to me that he has 20,000 Rand available for bail, and you will note that it was left open in that particular affidavit, but that is because it's up to the discretion of the court, obviously. And what I would like to put under the court's attention is the health situation that he's in, and his ill health is obviously contributing to the fact that he does not have funds available for a trial or for bail at this stage of more than 20,000 Rand.
All right. Dr. Abdul Rahman, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Can I maybe just assist him?
Yes, please.
Assist him. Thank you, Bishop. Your Worship, can you stay seated?
Yeah, I can send it. Yeah, you can hear me. Okay, Dr. Abdul Rahman, do you confirm the content of this affidavit? Whatever you've said in this affidavit might be used against you in subsequent trials. Do you understand?
Your Worship, can I confirm?
Yes,
your
sir. Do you have any previous convictions? Can you ask somebody to switch off that music?
No.
Somebody else's bag. Go outside.
Yes.
He's confirmed that he hasn't, Your Worship.
All right, thank you. The warning is that if you provide me with false information, you may be charged with criminal offense. Okay.
Your Worship, I have discussed that with my client, and he
Yes. I
understands.
just want him to confirm that because the act says I must explain to him. Okay. All right, after the receipt, the record marks the receipt.
Thank you, Worship.
Thank
I'll
you.
stand down for the moment.
Applicant for accused number 3, are you ready now?
Yes.
Applicant number 3, can you move quickly there? Okay. Give me that affidavit that I've read that has now been commissioned and has been signed by the deponent. Where is the deponent? Where is the deponent? Stand up, sir. You confirm that you have signed this affidavit and you've taken an oath confirming the content of this affidavit.
Yes.
Right. Good. You confirm that you do not have any previous convictions, nor any pending cases?
Yes.
Right. Whatever you've said in such affidavit might be used against you in subsequent trial. Do you understand?
Yes.
You received the record marked as Exhibit D. Thank you. Anything to add, sir?
There isn't much except the amount of bail that has been suggested. The accused only has an amount of 5,000 rand of import. He is out on bail in a pending matter, which is also interrelated to him. And the charge is that in that matter, I see the amounts are duplicated also in this particular case. So basically, they've been charged twice actually for the same thing.
Well, that is the matter for the trial court. We'll deal with it at the appropriate time. Okay.
If the court says
Yes. Is there anything else?
nothing else.
All right, thank you. We go now to applicant number 5, Mr. Brian Hlongwa, counsel.
May it please the court, madam, your ship, I am here for
We've
accused.
forgotten now.
I know. Here for accused number 5 in this matter. We have also submitted the affidavit to
Yes.
the
Right.
court.
Is it right, Mr. Hlongwa, Mr. Brian Hlongwa, can you stand up, sir? Do you confirm the content of the affidavit?
Yes, I do.
Right, thank you. Whatever you said in the affidavit, I see that you dealt with the merits of the matter. Whatever you said in the affidavit might be used against you subsequent trial. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
All right. Do you confirm that you have no previous convictions nor any pending case?
I do confirm.
Right. If you provide me false information, you will be charged with criminal offense. Do you understand? You understand?
Yes, I do.
The affidavit will receive the record marked as Exhibit E. Counsel, is there anything else that we should add?
You should say for the amount which we have addressed at paragraph number 50 to say my client has 10,000 rand available for bail, considering that there was known of this matter since 2014. That is when this bail application affidavit was drafted. They are not a flight risk, and if bail may be set in that amount. That's a conclusion.
Well, there's always a saying that the wheels of justice sometimes grind very slow.
This time they were very, very slow.
But there is an end now. I think you should be pleased that there is now light at the end of the tunnel.
He is in
moving.
fact. He is in fact, my lord. So is my colleagues from the state.
Right, we move to applicant number 6. Right. Thank you, Worship. Thank you, Council. Sit down, sir. I'll tell you when you stand up, okay? Right, thank you, Council.
Thank you, Worship. I appear for the purposes of bail for accused number 6. In the case as a whole for 6, 10 and 11, but 10 and 11 are corporate.
The corporate, so
Yeah.
there's no point here.
The affidavit has been submitted, Your Worship.
Yes.
I submit that a case has been made out, that it's in the interests of justice that the accused be released on bail. We have tendered the amount that the state have asked for of 50,000 rand, so that's non-contentious.
All right, thank you.
And I believe the state will indicate that his passport should be handed in. We agree with that. There are no reporting conditions asked for by the state, and we think, or we submit that they're not necessary. And the state may submit that he may not travel outside of the country, but you can't do that unless you've handed in your passport. We'll hear what the state have to say about travel. But on balance, we say we've made out a case.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lolana, do you confirm the content of the affidavit? And you confirm that you do not have any previous convictions nor any pending cases? All right, but whatever you said in the affidavit might be used against you in subsequent trials, you understand? And if you have provided me with information with regard to your previous convictions and pending cases, you may be charged with criminal offense, you understand? Thank you, may sit down this affidavit to receive the record marked as Exhibit F. Thank you. Applicant number, okay, number 7, accused number 7, yes. Let me see, number 7 is not here, okay. We move now to number 8. Mr. Manga, the event delay, let's proceed. Thank you,
Your Worship, I'm appearing on behalf of accused number 8.
Yes, thank you. you.
For purpose of bail, 16 and 17 also, but they are corporate entities together with my learned colleague, Advocate Ramolal, on instructions of Mr. Governor. He's in court. Your Worship, likewise, an affidavit has been presented to Your Worship. Yes. I submit that a proper case has been made out, that the interest of justice permits his release on bail. Your Worship, also as far as the amount suggested by the state of 50,000 rand, we are in agreement with that. There's no dispute relating to such amount. The further conditions, we will hear what the state say, but I don't think there will be any contentious issue there. Your Worship, I then submit that the proper case has been made out for the release of bail.
Councillor, just noticed that the accused is a frequent traveller. Can you address me with regard to the issue of the passport? And
the passport is available if the state intends requesting for the handover. There will be no dispute relating to that.
So there are no intentions of him to travelling out of the country?
Your Worship, if he needs to leave the country for business purposes, we will take it up subsequently with the state in order to get their permission. But at this stage, if the state requests that the passport be handed over and that the travel be limited to only within the borders of this, the RSA, there will be no dispute relating to that.
Thank you. Mr. Pillay, can you stand up? Mr. Pillay, you confirm the content of this affidavit? You confirm the content of this affidavit?
Yes, I confirm.
And whatever you said, this affidavit might be used against you subsequent trial. Do you understand?
I understand.
But do you confirm that you do not have any previous conviction?
I confirm.
Do you have a pending case?
Do I have?
Do you have a pending case? You don't have a pending case.
Where I've been charged, no.
Right, thank you. If you provide me false information, we will charge the criminal offence. Do you understand this warning?
I do.
All right, thank you. This affidavit will soon record marked as Exhibit G. Thank you. Mr. Hlongwa, thank you. Thank you.
May it please the court, Your Worship, once more confirm I appear on behalf of accused number 9 in this matter.
Yes, thank you.
We have deposed to an affidavit and it's been duly commissioned.
Yes, thank you.
In the affidavit, at paragraph 10, it states that there are no previous or pending convictions.
Yes, thank you.
There are no previous convictions and pending matters against our client. And at 11, it also states that our client has been warned of the non-disclosure of truthful information in that respect. We submit in that respect, Your Worship, that the accused may be granted bail, and it has been proven that interest of justice permits that she be released. The issue relating to the amount of bail, at paragraph 16, client says she is a contract worker and she would not be able to afford the amount as proposed. She suggests an amount of 10,000 rands to be granted in her favor. She is also a constant traveler, and in that respect, she submits that she would not have any objections if a condition is set that says her passport may be handed over, but she must inform and request it from the investigating officer as and when she would need to travel. That would be the submissions that we make in this respect. The last is that she has known already as at 2015 that these charges are pending, and she hasn't absconded or tried to evade. Now, that already mitigates for the fact that the bail amount ought not to be punitive, Your Worship. Please, the court.
Well, the bail amount is just to secure the attendance of the accused at court.
Understood.
It's not a form of punishment or anticipatory punishment. This affidavit will soon record marked as Exhibit H. All right, thank you, Counsel.
Thank you, Your Worship. The state has also submitted the affidavit of the investigating officer.
Yes, I've read.
Yes, we are not opposed to bail, and we request that bail amount be fixed at an amount of 50,000 rand, taking into account the gravity of the offense, as well as the possible punishment that the accused may incur should they be convicted, which is a life sentence. And further, Your Worship, we are requesting that should the court grant the accused bail, the following conditions be set: that they hand over to the investigating officer, Colonel Motedi, all their traveling documents, and that no international travels must be undertaken, and that they must report inter-provincial travels to the investigating officer. Thank you.
The court gives judgment. This is an application for bail brought by the applicants who have been charged with various counts, including charges that are contravention of the Prevention of Organized Crime Act. They are applying for bail and they've adduced evidence by way of affidavit. The respondent is not opposed to bail and also adduced evidence by way of an affidavit. I have considered the evidence that has been adduced by the applicants, as well as the evidence that has been adduced by the respondent. The Act is very clear. Section 60, subsection 11 of the Act provides that an accused person who is charged with an offense that is categorized under Schedule 5 bears on us to prove on a balance of probabilities, after adducing evidence, that interest of justice requires the release on bail, in the interest of justice, obviously. And the applicants, they've done so. Evidence shows that they are not a flight risk. They've handed themselves over to the police when requested to do so. And there is no evidence that they might interfere with the witnesses, directly or indirectly so. And therefore they have satisfied the requirement of Section 60, Section 11 by using the evidence, and that the interest of justice requires a release on bail. Therefore, bail is granted to all the applicants in the amounts as follows. Accused number 1, bail is granted an amount of 20,000 rands. Accused number 2, bail is granted an amount of 20,000 rands. Accused number 3, bail is granted an amount of 20,000 rands. Accused number 4, bail is granted at an amount of 25,000 rands. Accused 5, bail is granted an amount of 20,000 rands. Accused 6, bail is granted an amount of 50,000 rands. Accused 8, bail is granted an amount of 50,000 rands. Accused 9, bail is granted an amount of 50,000 rands on the following conditions. 1, that the accused must appear on the date and at the place to which the matter may be adjourned and to remain in attendance until excused. 2, that the accused must hand over their passports to the investigating officer, Colonel Thabo Amos Mutedi. 3, that the accused must not leave the Republic of South Africa without the permission of the investigating officer, Thabo Amos Mutedi. And if indeed the investigating officer does not want to listen to the application, they are free to come to court, and the court will invoke the provisions of Section 63 of Act 51 of 1977 and listen to the application for the amendment of the bail condition. Do you all understand? Thank you.
As the court please, Your Worship. Your Worship, the state applies that this matter be adjourned to 22 April 2022 to secure the attendance of accused number 7, who also represent accused number 12.
Okay. Right, thank you. Is the date suitable?
22nd April 2022.
Is the date suitable to the legal representatives? This matter adjourned until 22 April 2022, Court 23, Johannesburg, for further investigation. All of the accused are in custody. The bail is fixed at the amount as stated, payable here at the clerk of the court of Johannesburg prison. As soon as they deposit an amount that has been fixed, they will be released and must appear in this court, Court 23, Johannesburg, 8:30 in the morning. Failure to do so will run a warrant for the arrest authorized and the bail money forfeited to the state. Do you all understand? Can you stand up? Do you all understand? Do you all understand? Right, you can pay your bail here at the clerk of the court of Johannesburg prison. As soon as you have paid the bail, you will be released and must appear in this court 22 April 2022, 8:30 in the morning. Failure to do so will run a warrant for arrest authorized any bail money forfeited to the state. Thank you. These are the day 50s. All right, I'll cancel them, don't worry about that. Thank you.